Hello. Oh, it's off. Oh no, Steven, what happened? Hang on, I can fix it. Watch. Hey, look, we did it.
You did it?
All right, we did it, everyone. We're here.
Catch it up to
We're live. We're gonna be a couple minutes behind. You know what? I'm gonna fix this really quick. It's gonna be really awkward for everyone watching, but we have issues. But hello, everyone. I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
Every week, my best friend Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles that life throws our way. Kind of like this technical issue that's going to drive my brain crazy. If I don't try to fix it, I don't know what I'm doing. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a mess. Okay, I mostly did it. And we are joined today to talk about our various issues and nonsense and distractions that life throws our way with one of my best friends for the past million years, Tina B. Awesome. Tina B. Tina, I love you. I love you, Tina.
I love you back.
I love you. We're so glad to have you. I don't know if you guys know this. So last week we pitched doing a live show. We were like, yeah, we're gonna do a live show. Why not? Let's do it. We haven't done one in a while. It's our 5-year anniversary. Like literally yesterday.
Wow, that's crazy. 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean, the pandemic year, right?
It's our 5-year birthday. If our podcast were a baby, it would be annoying as heck by now. It would be the cutest little 5-year-old, but it would be needy, Steven. So needy.
I wouldn't know that.
It would have so many issues.
Yeah, Steven. Oh my God, guys, I've had just the craziest week. Like the craziest, saddest, weirdest, crazy, like just most. I mean, I'm very thankful that the week has turned out the way it has. But I'm just gonna I'm gonna tease this in the way my best friends at Don't Make It Weird would tease this and say like I had to call 911 for the first time this week, guys. That happened in my life. A crazy, random happenstance of emergencies.
Expensive American hotline.
Oh my gosh. But before we get into my absurd emergency, I want to talk to my best friends here. So every week we get together and we talk about, the random issues and obstacles and distractions that life throws our way while we're trying to make comic books. We've been making all these books. Steven, will you give us just a rundown of the last 5 years of making comics for those who might be joining us for the first time?
So, enter the eve before 20. Are we starting like when this podcast started? Or are we going like back in?
No, you can go back. You can go like previously on Anthony and Steven's lives.
Steven is drawing in middle school. He loves Dragon Ball. He basically just loves Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. It's amazing. I'm sorry, I'm acting it out.
I love Dragon Ball. So I drew a lot of Dragon Ball Z. As I was entering, it was like 8th grade, I started working on comics with my friend Tommy, and there were these horribly violent baboon comics that basically baboons lived in the ceilings of the school and they killed our teachers and stuff. If anyone ever found them, we definitely would have been put somewhere, but they never were, and it was like my first taste of like storyboard like telling, basically. Fast forward, I meet Anthony. We're enemies at first. Not enemies, but we just aren't the best of friends. Mike and Anthony are friends way before Anthony and I are friends. But Steven breaks through his Metallica phase and enters what every adolescent did in 2004. He dyed his hair black, cut it asymmetrical, and he became seen. And once he became seen, he no longer fit in with his other friends. They made fun of him. But Anthony and Mike, they accepted me because they were ahead of the curve. They were seen before there was a scene. They created the scene. So from there, I meet Anthony. We become the best of friends. Anthony and I basically, we become like the best of friends. We start working on the first comic, which is The Absentees. No, first comic is Pseudo Samurai.
Yep.
It was our first little endeavor into it. A little bit more like of a cartoonish style because my style was definitely still broken from all the anime I drew, and didn't finish it. No. This is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout the next few years.
Oh, the next few years were just fraught with just like failure after failure after failure. Oh, God. But anyway.
I always go back to The Absentees. Well, Scavengers came after, I think, the first or second try at Absentees, if I'm not mistaken. But I always go back to Absentees because I literally drew the frequency walking around chairs scene 3 different times, 3 different styles, because we just kept trying to start it up, and then my skills had changed since then. I think Scavengers was in between one of those. Yeah. We did like the 6-page like ship off to Image that never happened. Nothing came to fruition. But then we take a hiatus from our friendship, from our comics.
So the world was in shambles, Steven. Cats and dogs living together. It was anarchy.
He Who Shall Not Be Named. And then we get back together as friends. We start making music with Mike. But Anthony wants more. He's tasted the art, the fruit art, the art fruit.
The art fruit.
And he's like, you know what? You know what our biggest drawback was? Is that we were too good of friends, and I couldn't push him to work on stuff. So if we do a podcast, the people will push him to work on stuff. And this will keep his ADHD mind attuned to like a weekly goal, daily goal, and he will produce with me, and we will finally live the dream. And lo and behold, the podcast started, and we published our first book, Play It Again, which was like a 39-page one-shot comic, which is a big endeavor for
It was a big first endeavor. It was, and not to mention, it was such an unusual book. Like, it was a book that nobody was asking for. But anyway, so yeah, we make this book based on a terrible relationship I had. It was a semi-autobiographical time travel graphic novel musical. You know what everyone's asking for. You know, the thing that people have been begging for, just cheering for day after day. I have this chime on my side, and my fiance was like, "You're not going to be able to handle that. You know how you are with sounds." And I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I'm not, guys. I'm dying."
Every time that chime goes up,
yeah. It's killing me, and I don't know how to shut it off.
What you should have learned is that you should never question Carly.
Oh, I shouldn't. I know she's right.
I learned this lesson a while ago.
I was really hoping for the best for myself, but I'm wrong, okay? I am dying over here. I'm suffering through it, gladly. But we made this book. It's still available on Amazon Kindle if you want to go read it. It's very sad and emotional.
Number one in historical fiction for like a week.
It was number one in historical fiction, which is amazing. But then we moved on to our next book, and we offered people, the viewers like you, the opportunity to vote on what our next idea was. And Stephen, what did they choose?
They ignored my idea. They spit on it. They were like, "Get this garbage out of my face." And they said, "You know what sounds good? Anthony, because Anthony is the best. Anthony's ideas are the best. And Stevie, you just need to be licking them Dorito fingers and getting his pages done."
Don't you dare.
And I was like, yes. But Deathless is what won the poll. And I'm just joking. I absolutely love Deathless. How could I not? Deathless is Douglas, and Douglas is me. So it is great.
How can I not like this book? That is clearly me. No, I love it. So yeah, we've been working on Deathless ever since
I'm still in it.
We published. So we finished working on the first issue of Deathless. We put it up on Kickstarter. Thankfully, people liked it. They showed up for it. They, helped us bring it to fruition, and we got through the first 3 issues that way. Now we are on issue 4, and that's just where we are. We're pretty much caught up. Tina, what's your experience been like through this? Have you noticed that Steven is doing the laundry any more or less because of this?
I'm going to be really, really, really...
Not literally talking about laundry, just so we're clear.
Oh, what are you talking about then?
Talking about the comics.
Oh yeah, he definitely works on the comics. He's really never done laundry.
No,
that whole episode before, that was
no.
pretend.
Now she does everything because she has all these fancy detergents and like natural, like holistic things.
I like that, Steven. I like that you're like, it's so scientific. Like, you're like Zach Galifianakis trying to figure out the math of the detergents. You're like, it's impossible.
Because I'll do it. She'll be like, that's not right. And anyways, but I do put everything away. She like puts it all, and I like put it. So instead of grabbing the basket, loading it into the washing machine, adding the detergent, I don't do any of that anymore. But I do put away everything that is mine.
And the towels.
And the towels and the sheets and things like that.
Uh-oh.
But I work in the sun.
He does. He works in the sun, and he makes dinner, often.
I make dinner
Last night, he worked in the sun, came home, made dinner. He played Donkey Kong in between. Made dinner, and then cleaned up dinner also.
That's always
impressive. Cleaned up my whole mouth. And I made a messy dinner. I made a boil. So I had, potato leavings and corn and all this crap everywhere.
He made a seafood boil without the seafood.
Ex-nay the seafood because no seafood was on sale. So I just did kielbasa, potato, corn.
Oh, okay. I mean, when you said that, what my brain said was like, they ate water. I was like,
Really what we do is we went to this one place one time that had like the seafood boil thing, but they had like this really good Cajun butter.
Okay.
We learned how to make the butter. Tina figured it out on her own. So now we just, really the best part,
taste buds.
I'm going to be honest with you, all the seafood, all the salt, whatever, it's all good. The best part is the soft-boiled eggs dipped in that like clarified buffalo butter sauce.
Yeah?
I can't
Okay.
explain to you. It is like the nectar of the gods.
Okay,
It's so good.
I'm jealous of you're over there eating nectar of the gods. Steve and Tina, every week we get together, we talk about what our issues were this week while like doing things that we wanted to do and like what got in our way. Did anything get in your way this week? What was your week like?
There was nothing that got in my way because this was an off week for me. So the only thing that got in my way was DK Bonanza, and I had a blast. Every level I've played so far on DK Bonanza, I have gotten every fossil and banana so far. I'm already at like 523 bananas, and I think there's only 777 in the whole game. And
Wow.
I'm not even done with the game yet. So I already have so many bananas, and that game is so fun. If you have Switch 2, I highly recommend DK Bonanza. It is great.
Heck yeah. What about you, Tina? Do you have any issues this week?
I wouldn't say I had any issues. I had a good week. I
Yeah?
had a good week. I had 2 classes that I attended.
Okay, you've had a busy week, though.
Yeah, I had 2 classes. I have a new assistant who I really like, and I'm super stoked about her education.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had a good week.
That's awesome.
Actually,
okay.
no. So Friday,
Yeah.
worst day ever, and it's been a long time since I've had like just a bad day.
Yeah.
It was just one of those days that was just
Where you don't want to
to
wake
a
up.
bad day. And
First to complain.
smack dab
Everybody
in the middle
sucks.
of my day trying to make dinner, and I'm peeling garlic cloves, and I swear to God, they were like glued together. I took
Oh,
a video
yeah.
and sent it to Steven
You
because
did.
it was. I
It
was
looked horrible.
I was like irrationally angry over this damn garlic.
And then Samuel was being a butt munch.
Samuel was being a butt munch.
Just one thing after another.
Like the school drop off is a total nightmare.
Still is.
I was done with the day before I even got to work.
Oh, that's always the worst.
And then I had to let somebody go, which is always a bummer.
No.
I know.
Wait. Oh, how did you do it?
Yeah.
How do you? I've never had to fire. I've never been in a position to fire someone. What? How did that work?
It is the worst part of my job. I absolutely
Yeah.
hate it. I try really, really hard to, compliment Sandwich.
I mean, you have to. I know it sounds like yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds cheesy, but you kind of have to. Right?
I was trained to let people go that it should be a conversation that lasts 2 minutes max. That's how I was trained. But
Tell them
sometimes
honestly,
you just
simply,
gotta-
kindly, but firmly. Don't make a big production. Right. Okay. I'm sorry. Go
Exactly.
ahead.
Pretty important rules when firing someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't putting off firing it.
But yeah, other than that, Friday ended up being just fine. I got to come home and hang out with Steven, who's the best.
I'm the best.
I agree.
The best there ever was.
Guys, okay. I love you. I'm happy for you. I couldn't be more thankful that you have had such a good week. That being said, boo! I'm just kidding. I've had such
Yeah,
a
Andy, you
guys.
and Harley have had a chaotic week.
Okay. This is a show about having issues. Yeah, it's a double entendre. We have comic book issues and we have life issues. This week, we had a lot more of one than the other, that's for sure. We were, it wasn't great, everyone. But this week, okay, so I'm at work. I'm doing my work stuff, just working. And I get a call from my fiance, which I immediately became terrified. Anytime I get a call,
Once again, it wasn't the worst case scenario, but
No.
once again, the phone actually calling someone. Terrifying business. It's terrifying business.
If you're watching
Tina
this
will
in the
call me
fu-
randomly sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I get so spooked
100%.
for a second.
Like, if you're watching this in the future and you're like, if you watch our eventual movie that we're gonna make, Stakeout, and you see the scene where it's like, where we talk about how much I hate the phone, this is why. Okay, this is exactly why. Because every time it's something terrible, awful, I've been conditioned to think that people are dead, something awful's gonna happen, and this is just evidence of that, like perpetuating that, because I answer the phone and my fiance is screaming and crying and obviously in the most amount of pain she could possibly be in, and it's terrifying. As I heard her voice, I jumped up, I ran in the other room, and I'm asking what's wrong, are you okay, what's going on? And she tells me she's collapsed on the floor and she can't move. She's in excruciating pain, and so of course I jump in and I'm just like, okay, we need to call an ambulance. We need to do, like, what do we do? And she's like, no, I don't think we have to call an ambulance. It's happened before. I have this back injury from 2017. I think it's going to be okay. I just have to sit for a while, and hopefully it'll eventually get better. I'll be able to move. And I'm like, are you sure? I'll call the ambulance. And she's like, no. I was like, okay, well, I'm coming home. So I tell my boss, I'm like, I'm so sorry, there's an emergency. I have to go right now. And I run out the door. It's one of those things where it's like, I felt bad, but also like, you should understand. And I will say, they totally did. They were so cool. I've never had a job like this.
They're good people.
Yeah, they are
He's
such
a
good
good
people.
family, man.
I've never had a job not make me feel like a jerk for needing to leave for an emergency or calling out because of an emergency. Like it's always been terrible, but that's like corporation nonsense. This is completely different. They were so sweet and awesome, and I ran out of there. Guys,
And you're like 25 minutes away too. I can imagine that car ride, dude.
Dude, okay, so this is what happens. So I get in the car, I immediately call her back, although I hate the phone. I call her back and I'm like, okay, where are you and what can I do? And she's in our office, like right now where I am, and I'm like, okay, well, I know there's a pillow on the floor. Maybe you could just get that pillow, put it under you, try to like relax until I get home. Are you sure I can't call the ambulance? And she's like, I promise, like it's fine. And like to her, like in her defense, like she's been through something like this before, like, but not to this degree. So, you kind of think like, I don't want to assume the worst. I'm trying to get through this the best I can. I'm going to be strong and I'll be fine. So I talked to her the whole way home, and I'm trying to make her laugh a little, but I don't want to I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm just scared, and she's scared. And I'm just like trying to make her feel better, and I'm like, I'm gonna be home soon. Here I come. So I get home. I run into the office, and she's just laying on the ground. I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay. What can I do? And she's like, please carry me to bed. So I'm like, are you sure you want me to pick you up? It's gonna hurt, like, what do I do? And she's like, yeah, let's do it, slowly, and just be careful. And I'm like, okay. I was like, it's not like I spend every afternoon in the gym, guys. I don't know if it's like Jim Gaffigan. Like, I'm not training for the Olympics, okay? But I was like, look, you know your body better than I do. If you think this is okay, I'm going to do whatever you want to your comfort level. Let's do this, So I was like, okay, is this okay? She's like, yeah. So I, slowly sit her up, and I freaking like get her up and carry her to bed. I set her in bed nicely, of course, like, doing like the squat thing. It's crazy. Like,
squats.
I did do some squats, guys. I don't know if you know this about me. Fun fact about Anthony, I have 0 butts. Like, there are, where there's supposed to be butts, there's no butts. Okay? So I don't know where these squats are coming from. It wasn't a great situation. But I got through it. I survived, right? And she, thankfully, like,
on the YouTube, by the way.
she wasn't going through, like, she was going through a lot of pain, but it wasn't killing her to go through this. Like, I set her down. She seemed to get more comfortable. So she's laying there. Things were getting a little bit better. She was to the point where she was like trying to be so strong through it. She's like, I'll work through this. I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, go get my computer for me, please. I'm like, I'll do whatever you want. Just like,
savage.
Be better. Like, totally savage. Like, super badass, but also like, please be better. Stop being hurt. Like, what is happening? Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever you want. You tell me. I'm gonna help you, right? So I get her a computer. She's working. We go through the day. Dude, I edited the whole podcast last week while she's in bed. After all of that, posted the thing, made a thumbnail while I'm like getting her drinks and like getting her snacks and like all this stuff. But then, Steven, she's like, I need to pee. And I'm like, that's interesting news for both of us because you can't walk and pee is awkward. So how's this gonna go? So I was like, okay, what do you want to do? And she's like, can you carry me to the bathroom? Of course I can. Are you sure that's okay? She's like, yeah. So I pick her up, and she's like, it hurts a little, but she's like, fine. And I carried her to the bathroom. I set her very gently down on the toilet, and she's fine. She pees with her arms around my neck. I've never felt more married than I did in that moment. I was like, this better not awaken anything in me. It didn't. But it was...
Those lobsters didn't get you. This will.
Yeah. So she's peeing in the toilet, and I was like, I speak lobster. I know what this pee means. No. For those of you who don't know, lobsters pee out of their eyeballs to communicate things with each other. Look it up. It's crazy. We've talked about it previously in the podcast. It's very weird. If you're not subscribed to our podcast, please do it now while we're talking about lobster eye pee. I think that's how you do it, guys. Anyway.
Piss lobsters.
Dude, so she's done peeing. I pick her up softly, pull her pants up, help her with all the stuff to save some dignity. I help her with the things. And I pick her back up. And she's okay. I completely pick her back up, like threshold carrying, pick her back, take her back to bed, set her down softly again, like doing my no butt squat, and she's fine. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Lobster Pisk is so good. It's Matthew Sidek, right?
Lobster piss.
Lobster, so good. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not be distracted by the comments while you're talking, but that was really good. Shout out to all of you. I love you. Thank you. If you're watching this right now, just know that we love you and we're thankful for you, and we really appreciate you commenting and being a part of this. So
I imagine a lobster piss real quick though. Would you
yes, please. Go ahead. Go
and then you take the eyes and you set them in the soup on top, so it's like you know what's coming out of them eyes, right?
The best form of communication ever made. So
it looks like the omelet that Latrine makes.
You changed it too. Okay, so I get her in bed. Dude, she's fine. Like, she's happy, not fine. Like, when I say fine, I don't mean like, oh, she's great, she's doing her taxes or whatever. Like, but she's like okay. Like, she looks like someone who's pained, but on the mend. Like she's going to be better. She's in bed, but she's gonna be better. So the day goes on. I do dishes. I'm just cleaning up. I'm doing all the things. And she says, like, I'm sorry, but I have to go to the bathroom again. And I'm like, I've already done this. I'm old. Like, this is old news. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing. It's like a pit crew. Like, give me my wrench or whatever. And I was like, yeah. So I'm like, get those arms behind me. I know how you pee, girl. I know what that pee do.
Go piss, girl.
Go piss, girl. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And so I pick her up, right? I could tell this time it hurt more. Like, something was, like, she wasn't, like, she...
Did you, accordion her by accident?
No, I didn't, Steven. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did this. I did everything.
Been, like, she was more stiff
from laying down.
I'm wondering, too, if, the bladder not being as full and stuff, too. Maybe it wasn't pinching the right nerves or unpinching. Dude, I don't know. So, the back is such a crazy thing.
Okay.
The back is just... The spinal cord is a wild thing.
Dude, okay, so...
It feels like it was designed by Apple, because it just breaks, it just doesn't... It has the most important job, but it just fails us in every account. But anyway, sorry.
So, okay, so this is the part where it gets more serious. So I take her to the bathroom, and we do the same thing we did last time, right? And I set her gently onto the toilet, and she's okay for a second, right? Like, she's peeing. As soon as she's done peeing, she says, I need to lean forward. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, her arms are wrapped around my neck. And I'm completely in control of, her movements, basically. She's like a marionette, essentially, hanging around my neck, So I lean back, so she can lean forward. And she's like, I have to stand up. So, I help her stand up. And she's like, oh, my God, I'm going to pass out. And I was like, what? And as she says that, she screams and just completely goes unconscious in my arms. Yeah. So, guys, I can't tell you, over the past week, I have seen this face flash in my head every day, multiple times a day. And, it was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. She was completely gone, I look at her and her head went back, her mouth was agape, and she's just gone. And I'm holding her dead weight, in the most, she collapsed on me in the most awkward way that I literally couldn't lift. lift. You know, like I couldn't get under her, so all I could do was lift under her armpits and just kind of like drag her toes. And I was like, and I'm yelling, you know, Carl's, and I'm like, please wake up, please. And I drag her to the bed, and I try to set her like softly on the bed as much as I could, but I'm also like holding her like this, like awkwardly, you know. So I like get her on the bed, and I like kind of like I touch her face, and I'm like rubbing her eyes, and I'm like, Carl's, and she finally like she gasps and wakes up, and she starts screaming, and she's like really in pain. And I was like, I need to call the freaking ambulance. And I was like, are you stable? I don't have my phone on me. Because, like, I took all my stuff out of my pockets to carry her. You know, I was just one of those, like, I want to be comfortable. I don't want anything jabbing her or me or, you know, anything. So she's, like, screaming. And I was like, are you okay? And she's like, you know, like, she's stable for now. So I run into the other room. I grab my phone and I run back. And I like, stay by her. And I call the ambulance. And I talk to the, you know, I talk to the dispatch. And I'm just, like, telling them the entire story. And, you know, she's like, stay on the phone with, or she's like, don't leave her while you're on the phone with me. I was like, here's the thing, we have dogs that I have to put away, and I have a door that I have to unlock for the EMTs, and I have to like, I have all this stuff I have to do before people can come and actually help. So I was like, I looked at her and I was like, are you okay here for a second? And she was like in a lot of pain, but she's like, yeah, I'm not moving. I can't like get up and walk away. So I like ran, I unlocked the door, and I, you know, did all the things. Finally, the EMTs arrive and like they, you know, helped her up on a stretcher, and it was, she screamed and cried, and it was just like, just torture. I mean, for both of us, you know, especially her, obviously, but like just watching the person you love the most like go through that is like, it was, man, it was killing me, you know. So I had to like so she gets into the ambulance. I had to rush to Atlas's school because it was just before pickup time for school, so like the line was forming and all this. So I'm just like, I have to get there, get around everyone, and it was just a nightmare. And so I dropped him off with my parents, and I rushed over to the hospital, and I got in there, and then they go, so this happens, right? So this happens to me. I go, so I know, here's the thing, I know her life isn't in jeopardy, okay? She's being taken care of as much as she can be. As much as I want to be there to support her and help her, I'm not going to be able to actually physically do anything. I can't practically do anything in the room. I don't know what they're doing at the moment, because she can't talk to me because she's not like texting at the moment, you know. So I get to the hospital, and I'm like, my freaking fiance is here somewhere, help, you know? And they're like, okay, yeah, she's in the ER, it's over there, you can hop on this little, like, trolley, and this guy will drive you over there. It's like a, you know, it's an elongated, like, human centipede golf cart, you know? And I was like,
was it Gulf Coast?
Yeah, it was Gulf Coast. So we went
that's
to,
a big hospital.
It's a big hospital, yeah. So
that's like that's the hospital in Lee County. So.
Yeah, so dude, so we get there. So I get there. I walk out front, and there's this like elongated golf cart, and this little old man like standing next to the wheel, and there's a man with like a veteran's hat and one leg sitting in the back, who's old as like war. You know what I mean? Like as old as you could possibly be. And I'm like, and so I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, I guess I'm sharing this vehicle with this old man, and I get on, and so the driver's like, do you have an emergency, or is it okay if I take care of him first? And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you not to take care of him first. You know, I was like, I feel bad. He has one leg, and he's very old. I don't know how much time he has left. Like, you know, get him to where he has to go. Okay, I'll figure this out. Like, I could have run to the ER. You know, like, yeah. So I was like, take care of him. So as we're going, the driver starts giving us like the Universal tour and like cracking jokes about the parking lot and all this. And I'm like, sir, this is not the time or place. What is happening? And then, Steven, as we're driving this man to his destination, we see another ancient mummy walking in his walker. And this driver, very nicely and well-intentioned, asks if he needs a ride. The man says, nah, I'm good. And the driver goes, nah, get on. So they have this moment, and the vet and I are having this moment like, we have things to do. Like, what is happening here? So this other guy gets on.
It just goes to show you that any there's like quests that you do in games where you have to like have someone follow you to your destination, and they're always the worst. They're like it's just the worst quest you can do in any game, and like you're living the real life version of it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how it felt too. And it got to the point where like I felt like Forrest Gump. Like I felt like at any point I should have just been like, I'm gonna run to where I need to go because this is taking too long. But eventually, so we dropped off like Tutankhamun, and then the guy looked at me and he goes, well, the ER is right here. I'm just gonna take you there. I was like, thank you. I mean, I don't know why he went first. He was the last one on board, and you didn't even ask. Like it was crazy.
He was very unhappy.
He was following like school bus driver rules.
100%. So he drops me off at the ER. I run in there. I give them my license, and I get up there, and I see Carly. And guys, the lighting in the ER needs work. Okay, I don't know who the like director of photography is for the ERs, but like they're really good at their job because everything looks like death in there. Like you literally pass.
Guillermo
del Toro, like you pass through like a veil.
Right
yes, that's the doctor. It's just like the ER nurse. Oh, I promise everything is gonna be fine, guys. But seriously, you pass through a veil. It's like it goes from white light to literally like someone peed on every light. That's what it looks like. It's just like awkward, dingy, gross yellow lights. And you're like, everything looks sick here. Like, no one feels like they're living through this. Like, I walked through, like, into that mist, pissed, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna die here. This is how I go. The lighting needs work. Listen, Levi, it's true. So this was my first, like, encounter with the maze that was the hospital. Dude, they were like, she's in room 3. When I walked in, I saw signs that were like, room 64 to 97 are this way, and no other signs. And I was like, okay, I'm guessing it's this way because it's not those. Like, it's the only process of elimination I have to go on. So I walked around for like 5 minutes before I was like, someone help me! I'm like shaking a patient, and finally they were like,
turn left and battle music kicks on.
That's how it felt! I felt like I was gonna meet David Bowie at any second. Like I was like, I'm stuck in this labyrinth fighting for a baby's life, okay? And it wasn't great. But I eventually found her. She was awake and happy to see me, but in a lot of pain, and it was just terrible. And then like the next few days, they admitted her. She went through this terrible CAT scan situation with a nurse that shouldn't have a job. Basically, like one of those situations. The people where you meet them and you're like, oh, why are you doing this? Like you're really bad at this thing in particular. Like you could do anything else, but you shouldn't be doing this for sure. Like it's like a Meatloaf situation. Like you could do anything for work, but you shouldn't do this. But. Anyway, but yeah, it's so she went voodoo, you do hoodoo. Remind me of the babe, guys. It was a nightmare. So she was there. I was going to the hospital every day, and then like I dropped Atlas off with my parents, and then thankfully it was Atlas's mom's week, so he ended up going with her. And then I went to the hospital after work every single day, and just spend time with Carly, like watching through the like physical therapy and all this stuff. And they eventually, once she was able to walk to the bathroom with the help of a walker, although super pained, they released her, and we were able to get her home, and now she's in bed and like slowly healing. It's been like a weird roller coaster, where like she does really well one day, and then one day it's just like you feel all the pressure from all of your bones, and all of her muscles kick in. Just hurts. But it's been exhausting for all of us, and I feel so bad for her, and I'm so ready for her to just be comfortable again. It's been a rough week.
I hope she feels better soon too. Dude, that's awful. But I know back pain, but I know like the back pain that I know is like a fragment of what she experienced in that moment.
I've never
have like a reoccurring like spinal injury, basically. That's got to be terrible. And like I don't even know what I would do if Tina passed out my arms with a scream. That sounds horrifying.
I don't know what this is, dude. Like I always respond to these things like the same way. I kind of like become like Neo from the Matrix. So when he like he does the like bullet thing where he's like no. Like I do that. I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from. It's not like oh, I'm brave or like I'm tough or anything like that. I just don't know what to do. So I'm just like, okay, this is the only thing I can think of. And I just do, like, and I'm sure that's what you would do too.
One moment in my life that triggers, like, how I know I'm safe in almost any situation is when Tina and Sarah started that fire with the French toast oil.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
the
example.
Cabinets were catching and everything. And I figured it out, man. I put out a fire, like, no freaking out. Like, in the video, too, you hear Sarah screaming, and you hear, like, all this chaos, and I'm just, like, the calm in the storm, you know what I'm saying? So, like...
I literally just stood there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, like,
it's like...
running, everyone... It's all pure... Lee's filming it.
It's like, fight... fright, flight, or freeze, or fix. And some of us just have to fix it. I don't know what else to do.
Sorry for you guys. I don't even have a fight or fight response.
But you never know. And, like, there's no wrong answer.
Fight or flight, and I'm all out of flight.
Oh, my God. But, you never know, and it's weird. Tina, have you ever had one of those moments when you're by yourself?
What moments?
Like a moment where you're like, oh crap, this is like a big deal.
Like, lock in.
Yeah, like you have to lock in and do something like...
She locks in... I mean, you can answer your own question, obviously, but... Sorry, I'm not trying to take... No, I was going to say...
How dare you, Steven!
Just to dote on her, like...
Yeah.
Like, when my sister passed away, like, Tina is so good at locking in as, like, the empathy, like... You ever see that episode of How I Met Your Mother where, like, Lily becomes, like, the pillow for Marshall's mom, like, where she just dumps all her crap on her and Lily knows her position? Tina, like sponges in all the pain and, like, is making food for everyone, is calling everybody, is organizing stuff, is getting stuff together, is calling Uncle Chris, is doing this. She's so good at, like, taking the reins of an entire situation, like a complex, multi-layered situation. She's like...
That's incredible. Yeah, like, that's...
With that being said, though, when Rachel died, that's the first time in my life where I think I experienced, like, true shock, because I honestly didn't even remember it. Chasey happened to be home when Steven called me, and she actually kind of helped me piece together. She said, I just heard you scream, and I came into the room, and you were laying on the floor in front of the bathroom, and you just kept saying, no, no, and then you told me to go to my room. Poor thing. But I remember, like, I crawled to my closet because I felt like I needed to call my mom. And it probably took me 5 minutes to figure out how to call my mom. Like, I couldn't figure out my phone, like, I'd never experienced, like, a shock like that before.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there have been times where, the kids have done something dangerous, that
super dangerous, like make mustard gas in the living room,
addressed immediately, that it's like you're not even thinking, like, you just jump into action. So I mean, I feel like there have been times where I've been able to just I also feel like it's partly like who's the adult in the room,
right?
Whenever you're in a situation, like, whether or not you're the one in control or not, and so, like, with the fire situation, Steven is the adult in the room. When Steven is around, I don't know where I am. I'm not looking around. I forget all directions. Like, I am incapacitated.
It's sort of like, it's like we're in a different town or we're at a concert or something. It's like me. It's like dun 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 dun, and just like, and her, wouldn't it be nice? It's just, that's fine.
Skip it along.
That's my role. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how she should be able to get to live when I'm next to her.
That's amazing. No, it's adorable.
Yeah, man. Like, those, like, crazy moments. Like, you just have to. Gotta hope you got it, I guess, and we all fortunately got it.
So Heather joined us. Heather Bennett from Tina's Org says Tina's the best. Carly.
Heather Friedman.
Carly, my beautiful fiance, said she needs the mustard gas story yesterday. Like, you guys have to explain what the heck you're talking about.
So our kids, to this day, our kids are old school. Like, Chasey plays on her iPads, but one thing that they both love more than anything is shenanigans, and they love to get into things. So
real heavy in the mischief.
So what had happened was, what did they spill that they tried to clean up? That's what I can't remember.
They spilled, like, some type of cleaner that had, like, ammonia in it.
Yes. And then they're like, oh my gosh, we got to clean this up. with the bleach because that's the best cleaner.
No. It was the other way around.
Oh, it was the other
They
way
were
around.
trying to do the bottle flip with a
Oh.
with a bottle of bleach.
Because you understand the laundry room is like right there by their bedroom, so they decided to
I love-
do the bottle flip challenge. So yes,
It's not like I just want you guys to know I'm not a terrible parent. Like I keep it up high. They had to like hoist and climb.
yeah, like Cambria
mission to get it.
like lifted Chase and put her on the washing machine, and then because this was like what 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
and so yes, basically what happens is they try to bottle flip bleach. A little gets on the carpet. They grab another thing to clean it up, and I start choking. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And we run, and dude, I'm like, get out of the house, all y'all.
Everybody move.
It was on the big freaking 12 by 10 rug we have.
Gosh.
So I'm like trying to pull it out from underneath the sectional,
Yeah.
choking on whatever the chemical
Oh my God.
thing they created, and I'm like opening all the doors and windows, throw the rug out into the yard, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm like, are you okay? The first question, are you okay?
Yeah.
What happened? And they explain, and we're like, bleach, never. If you're cleaning anything and then you decide to grab bleach afterwards, just don't do it because it's whatever. It probably has ammonia in it. Like
Yeah.
it probably has. For some reason, society as a whole has decided to design two of the best cleaners to be completely repellent to one another and
incompatible,
cause
yeah.
mayhem.
The worst way.
So never mix. Mommy and Daddy, we clean with chemicals. Granted, they weren't trying to clean; they were trying to flip a fucking bottle. Boy,
It's so
who
good.
tries to flip a fucking bleach bottle? Like, who's like, eh? Like,
What else are you gonna do
the
with a
most
bottle of
dangerous
bleach,
chemical in
Steven?
the
Get out of
entire
here.
House. Like,
Oh my God. Okay,
I don't
guys.
keep drain cleaner in the house because that shit is risky. You know.
So every week we talk about our various issues. This week, I won the issue challenge, but sometimes we give people the opportunity to ask us questions. We do a segment, a very popular segment because of the song specifically, Steven. We have a song that accompanies this segment.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Why don't you take it?
we're going to do the questions from the colony segment. I want you to ask questions in the chat as well. We do have some questions that people asked previously, but feel free to ask questions. Steven, take it away.
ladies and gentlemen, avert your eyes from the yellow glow of the hospital and look at the cackle of the flame and gather round as we answer your questions from the colony with Tina, Steven, and Anthony. We're gonna answer the ones from Twitter and also the live ones
Yep.
because it's questions from the motherfucking colony.
Whoa.
Questions. Whoa. I love you guys. All right, questions from the colony. So if you have questions for us, it could be about monsters, it could be about movies, it could be about making comics, it could be about comics in general, it could be about life, the universe, and everything. Feel free to ask us anything you want. You can ask us in the comments below. You can ask
I'm
us.
also taking hair questions.
Oh,
on
and
here.
Tina's obviously taking hair questions.
So I think what we should do,
Industry
because
questions.
there's really not that many
Okay.
on Twitter itself. I think there's like, I guess there is quite a few.
Yeah,
So how about we do this? We'll do 2 Twitter and then we'll check the comments. So
Okay,
don't
yeah.
bombard. Well, let's do the 2 from the Twitter.
That sounds good.
From the Twitter vote, Eric D. Bolton asks, what's the difference, Mr. Anthony, between a podcast and just talking to yourself with more confidence?
Okay, so here's the thing. There are at least 14 people watching, and I'm also talking to my best friends. So, I mean, I feel like the difference speaks to itself, and you're just being needlessly negative online because that's what works these days. Try to not be so conditioned by social media points and just be a decent human being. That's my answer. It's not so hard. But yeah, the difference is pretty obvious to anyone who's not an unreasonable, negative Nancy. So yeah, I think we're creating a colony here, trying to be decent people and just talking through, keep ourselves accountable and talking through our issues and talking to yourself with more confidence. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that either. I don't know why you're trying to shame people for their, saying I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. There's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, question the second, Steven.
Caitlin wants to hear from Levi, the wonderful Levi. Caitlin wants to hear your Fantastic Four opinions, how you would have ended it, and I want to know what you Steven think about Las Vegas becoming an economic ghost town?
All right, what do you think, Steven?
So Fantastic Four, besides the things that we lightly discussed, as a whole, I think one, I loved the cast,
Yeah.
especially Johnny. I feel like that's the best Johnny Storm we've gotten in any rendition. Even Chris blows it all away. I really loved his Johnny Storm because he was cocky, cool, but really smart. Like, because they're all scientists. That's the thing about the Fantastic Four. They're not just like, hey, it was the smartest man alive, his wife that was smart, and then these two buds he has. Like, no, like they're all like varying degrees of like rocket science and things like that. They're all really intelligent, and I felt like Johnny was handled very well as a ladies' man, and was like appropriate, and I don't know, it was really good. I do feel like when you're battling an enemy like Galactus, there's a lot of ways you can make that fight end. I don't think there's a lot of ways to make that fight end cool without too much ramification, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do think they were up against it with their first endeavor being with Galactus. My personal opinion is they should have just gone with that their planet got consumed by Galactus and they somehow transported universes. That's what I thought was going to happen, and maybe they were trying to subvert our expectations by allowing this stretch in the time to occur. But like they literally could have still done the end scene the same, like the reveal, not to reveal anything. But they still could have done the mid-credit scene the same, as if they just jumped to a different. They didn't have to jump to the MCU verse from that point. They just. I feel like it should have been an Infinity War situation. I feel like Galactus is Galactus. He's an unrelenting storm of power, and he's gonna consume the planet. Like that's what happens. So it was cool. I think there was parts could have been better, but I enjoyed it personally as a whole, and I look forward to seeing the characters appear in Doomsday in the future. Although I will say, as a Marvel fanboy, I did personally enjoy Superman more than Fantastic Four, and that's crazy for me because I'm not a fan of Superman whatsoever. But I knew I was gonna love Superman.
It was very well done.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
It was a lot of fun.
James Gunn, I had full faith in James Gunn from the get. I knew it was going to be awesome because James Gunn just makes the exact movie that I want. It hits you in the feels in all the right places, and it's funny, and it's, I don't know. So yeah, I did enjoy Superman more so. I would say I even enjoyed Thunderbolts more than Fantastic Four personally.
Thunderbolts was great.
Yeah, I really like
I
Thunderbolts
agree with
too.
you on that. I definitely.
I still like Fantastic Four. I'm not trying to talk shit on the Fantastic Four at all because I love Pedro Pascal. I love everyone that was in the movie. I don't know. I wanted more from it, I think.
All right, we don't have any questions from the chat. I didn't see a single question, not even one question. So, Steven, what's the
name? Wait, hold on. There was that was a two-parter, and I
Las Vegas. Yeah, because I know exactly what you're going to say.
The Las Vegas.
It's going to be an economic ghost town forever, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Oh, is that?
I was going to say something different, but I will follow up with that.
Okay.
First of all, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner because Vegas sucks.
It is pretty crap.
I don't care what anybody says.
It's crap.
I have never experienced a bigger disappointment in my lifetime than going to Vegas and being like, this is dirty. This place, it's terrible. It is just terrible. It's not fun. It's really lame. I mean, I guess if you like to gamble and drink, but I don't. I don't like to do either of those things. Anyway.
It's very, but like what she's saying, like, I'll never forget when we walked into like our first like Vegas casino. I'm just like, this is like, it smells like my grandma's like smoke-ridden house. And
oh no.
This is just not it. This ain't it.
The best part of Vegas was when the Luxor had the Titanic exhibit. That was the best part. And I'm pretty sure that's in like Tennessee or something now. So
yeah, a big piece has been moved, ladies and gentlemen.
However, for all the Swifties out there, Taylor Swift is dropping a new album. It's called The Life of a Showgirl. And now for anybody who follows Taylor Swift's career in any capacity, she likes to drop Easter eggs. Right? About her career, etc., etc. As we all know, the Eras Tour, huge thing, took the world by storm. She's literally the biggest artist ever. And The Life of the Showgirl, there's speculation that she very well may have a Vegas residency around the corner.
If Taylor Swift has...
And if that's the case, Vegas will no longer be an economic ghost town.
Yeah, it's like a Taylor Swift residency would completely change that.
And that's the only reason why I would ever go back to Vegas, because Vegas sucks.
Vegas sucks!
Man, why would she do that, though? I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to see.
She just got married to
Travis.
Engaged, yeah.
Oh, your role, Swiftie.
They just got engaged, so I would imagine that she's starting to think about,
like, I don't want to
having
tour. I'm
more
just
of
gonna
a stationary
yeah.
residence and maybe
Well, seriously,
taking
like,
out a family.
if you're famous like that, if you're Taylor Swift, why go to the people
when the people will
come to you? Now I understand.
There was Americans going to like Europe and stuff like that to go see the Eras tour. So if Americans are willing to go to Europe, people are definitely.
I mean, obviously, you should probably still tour globally, like once every few years, so that way, people that can't afford to fly to like all those crazy accommodations. And I do believe that Taylor Swift does care for her fans, so I think she would do those things. But yeah, residency makes sense. Like that'd be. Maybe we'd actually have a chance to see her and not spend $800 on a ticket.
She's bringing Vegas back to life. All right, Steven, what's the next question?
Next question. Next song. Will you... KT Carlisle.
Okay.
Asks.
Okay.
Will you do the Monster Mash on camera? And can it also be our wedding song?
First of all, no and yes. The answer... I won't do it on camera, but yes. If you haven't seen the original video of the man who performs the Monster Mash doing it live, please go watch that after this show. Like, as soon as this is done, go watch him do that. This was the pinnacle of entertainment. Like right now, if you're watching this, you're like, well, first of all, thank you. If you're joining us for the first time, you might be like, who wants to watch these two guys? People used to watch random musicians show up in a room by themselves and make weird faces. Like, his whole performance, Steven, is going, I was working on that one night.
He's doing it.
Like, that's what he did. Like, and he was lip syncing.
Listen, the guy created the Halloween creepy.
It's true. Steven,
Vincent Price.
I was gonna say, like, why was Vincent Price like the pinnacle of creepiness? I don't understand it. He doesn't sound creepy.
Like, you know what's funny? Even though he's not Edgar Allan Poe either, I associate Vincent Price as a Raven. For some reason, it's like all the same like quadrant. It's just all blackbirds and Vincent Price.
That's fair. I think because you always imagine the like crows flying around.
The pencil mustache. Who's that guy?
Who? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Remember in the Creep? Do the Creep. Remember that song? But he's a famous guy. The guy with like the pencil mustache. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, the Creep. Like. He's like,
is it John Waters?
I don't know how to describe it.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. That sounds right.
He's a director. He Pink Flamingo.
He has like the pencil mustache. That is like his most defining characteristic.
But.
All right.
But yeah, go watch the Monster Mash, and yes, we can do it at our wedding for sure. What's the next question?
Ghostly Josh asks, which movie monster would you want to go out on a date with?
Ooh, okay, Tina, you answered this one.
Yes, which movie monster would you go on a date with?
Is Thor a monster?
I mean, in bed.
Kind of like a werewolf too, though.
The hammer is his penis. What?
My hammer's name is Jonathan.
Okay, does it have to be a movie? Can it be a TV show?
No, yeah, it can be a TV show.
Oh yeah, like think about
Spike.
Spike?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
I would choose Spike.
Spike has some problems. Is it like
or season 3 Angel?
Are we talking post Soul Spike or pre Soul Spike? It's got to be post Soul. You can't be like pre Soul Spike. That's what I want.
Well, post Soul Spike was real crazy there for a minute.
Yes,
yeah.
But
which is very unattractive.
It was. He got really gross for a minute. He really got bad. We have a couple questions though from the colony on YouTube here. So Fowler, our good friend Eric Fowler asked, "Will we see Anthony back on Twitch?" Maybe, probably not. I haven't had a lot of time lately to like do that. If I find myself with like a bunch of extra time, I might. I don't know if I'm gonna be gaming though. Maybe like when I like write stuff, I could like live stream that because I've filmed that before and it's actually a lot of fun to do that. So maybe something like that if people are interested in like seeing the process. We also have a question, or not a question. We have a comment from Shy Pixie. They say Vincent Price has an entire album of witchcraft. First of all, I didn't know this. Second of all, what does this mean? Okay, like
an album of like spells or like an album of music?
Okay, so what I'm imagining is like Vincent Price being like, "Do you wish your dishes would do themselves?" Watch this. Listen closely. Like what is that? What does that mean? What does it mean to do an album of witchcraft? I need to know. I need this.
Grab the sponge.
Yes. The sponge is moving on its own.
Dawn dish detergent.
Hibbity dibbity. Like what does it? I need to hear this. So if you haven't heard that, send me a link if you have heard that. I want to listen to these spells and the way to work so I can feel like pumped up. Is it like Journey? Is it gonna get me going? Is it provocative?
Someday.
Yeah, fine. Okay. We're also joined by Lucas Bearman, who is one of our best friends.
Lukey boy.
Hey, Lucas.
Hunter.
Lucas is a hunter in our D&D campaign. We have a bi-weekly D&D campaign in which I have the fortunate I get to be the freaking dungeon master, and oh god,
the goodest.
I'm the best there is.
In all the land.
Oh, it's so weird.
I
But it's been a lot of fun.
introduced capitalism to the Fey world.
Oh my god. Okay, where are we? Okay,
By accident.
Steven, do we have more
We're
questions?
taking questions from the colony right
Alright,
now. If you
Twitter.
would like to ask questions about,
Yes.
he's always interested in the lore. you know?
Yes. If you're joining us,
Fuckhead Linz asks, weapon of choice, and that's the question. It's 3 words. Weapon of choice.
okay, hang on. If you're joining us for the first time right now, first of all, hi, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and share it with your people. You know all that nonsense. But you can ask us anything in the comments right now. We're going to answer everyone's questions as long as they're reasonable and not going to bring everyone down. The question that was just asked is, what is the weapon of choice?
It literally just says weapon of choice, question mark. There's not even a what. It's just weapon of choice.
Someone else's rib bone. No, what? What does that mean? Steve. Okay, Tina, you are a perfect
What's your weapon of
person.
choice?
What is your weapon of choice?
Straight razor.
Straight razor?
Mhm.
All right,
That is
Sweeney Todd.
Dark.
So,
Sweeney Todd
She is
again.
gifted with a straight razor.
I love that.
She's not wrong.
It's like an extension of your arm.
Honestly, this is gonna sound funny, but probably like a hammer, because I literally swing a hammer like a mallet all day. So you just change the head of that to something that has more bludgeon capabilities, and yeah, I'd probably fuck something up with a hammer.
Why did Levi just say Christopher Walken? Did someone say Christopher Walken? I don't understand. Levi, why?
Loved him in Hairspray.
Is that why? Maybe that's why, because we did mention... Anyway, my weapon of choice would be... no, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Foo Fighters.
My weapon of choice is I'm gonna go with the sickle because it's my last name means the sickle, and why not? That would be cool. We have Eric Fowler asked, are there dungeons and/or dragons in your Dungeons & Dragons campaign? There have been dungeons. Yes, there have been a couple of dungeons.
There's been one or two dungeons.
Yeah.
Everything
I'm a
else has been-
dragon.
I guess if you want to count vampiric castles and
Yeah.
right
Technically,
now we're in the Fey realm.
they're and now we're in the Fey realm of my own devising, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been ridiculous. Let me see, what else do we
I
have?
created a currency called Fey Bucks, and I'm completely destabilizing everything they called home.
Let me see. Okay, so Caitlin says Tina's a badass.
Thanks.
Corey Hero asks or says, Anthony, how detailed are your comic book scripts? Does Steven prefer more or less detailed ones? First of all, okay, so as far as detail is concerned, I always try to write what is absolutely necessary objectively in the script. So if certain characters have to be there with particular expressions, I write that, or if there are objects that need to be there, I write that, and I always of course include the dialogue and any backgrounds that are absolutely necessary. But I've learned to give Steven a lot of freedom as far as perspectives. I used to be very specific about it. I used to write very dense descriptors, and I would kind of treat it as if I were a movie director, and I'm like, no, I need it like this. This is the shot, and it needs to be like this, or else you suck. But now I'm like, no. As long as these things exist in it, I give Steven the freedom to create the page. So what do you think, Steven? What do you prefer? Because
I was actually going to give him an example and a little tease of page 1 of issue 4 that we're working on. This is the 3rd panel, so I'm just jumping to the 3rd panel, and this is his description for the 3rd panel. Largest panel, it's a wide establishing shot. We can see a center stage, colorfully lit, with a very Panic at the Disco-esque Jeff in the center of the circus ring, holding a mic and wearing a top hat. Mary and Beryl are on the opposite sides of Jeff as he speaks, stretching one arm theatrically as he speaks into the mic.
There you go. It's simple and effective. I don't like demand that it has to be a specific shot as far as like angle is concerned, but everything that's necessary.
There was actually like in Bloodlust, there was a shot where the panel before, he didn't really specify the angle in which I did it, but I did this angle where it was over her shoulder looking at the map. So then when I did the final panel, the final panel wanted to have her look out into the ocean. So I'm like, well, shit, I just drew her with her over the shoulder, so I don't want to show her shoulders again. So I came up with the idea for a head-on shot with the reflection.
I like that. That was really cool.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
So you could still see the ocean, and yeah, Anthony was cool with that because the point that mattered is we needed to see her looking at the map. Her looking out to the ocean is just her looking at the great beyond. But that panel actually was really cool because in the next page you see in Moira's eye her seeing what Cass is seeing, so it was almost like the zoom in on both their eyes, and I thought that was pretty cool.
It's really cool. Yeah. It was a really good idea, and like
Anthony and I are very fluid with like the creation process. If he doesn't think something works, I change it, but we usually don't encounter that because honestly we end up talking about stuff a lot. Like typically before I fully commit to a page idea, I usually talk to him about that week on the podcast before I'm even working on it.
Yeah, and to be honest, one of my favorite things about working with Steven specifically is, first of all, I can trust him. I know, like, whatever he comes up with, I'm going to love one way or another. Or even if it's not the thing that I envisioned in my mind or whatever, it's going to be something that will totally work. And I can see him, like, elevating things and coming up with things that are even cooler than, like, what I had in my mind. And on top of that, I also letter the comic book, which gives me the opportunity to kind of like punch things up at the last minute. So like
maybe he sees like my facial like expressions stuff like that and can add different things to it,
Yes. So here, let me see. Okay, let me see. Eric Fowler said for Steven. It's for you, Steven. We've heard of some solo projects for Anthony. Are there any solo projects you're working on right now?
That's my solo project right there. No, so
love you, Matthew. Thank you so much.
I would say more or less. I had this like concept of a story that we actually pitched, but I worked on it. It's kind of like one of those things where I got the idea out of my system and now I've just been kind of good with it. But I would say if I'm working on anything for myself, which isn't, Deathless is for myself. That's the thing. Is like I'm working on it with Anthony, but that is my project. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I would typically do pieces. So like, I remember when there was a stretch of time when we were just kind of chilling, I drew that Deer Hunter piece.
Yeah, that was
with
cool.
All the acts and all the cool. So like, I usually just pick like a project like that. Working on like my own comic or something like that with my own writing and it just doesn't really interest me, right? Yeah. I mean, like it doesn't really make sense for me to do something like that. But typically, like I like to tackle on like if I get like some sort of thing I have to like when I listen to the Deer Hunter albums, like it was like one of those situations where like I loved the music so much. And there's really not a lot of physical media for it.
Yeah.
So like I just wanted to draw like what each act was representing and like what this character, because like if you don't know the Deer Hunter, their albums very similar to Coheed. Acts 1 through 5 are basically the life and death of this man named Hunter, who like is like starts off where he's a boy and it ends with him dying, and like it's just his life, and it's a very like Forrest Gumpy type life where it's like turn of the century. He like falls in love, goes to the Great War, serves, and like all this crazy stuff happens to him, and his life is just shit show after shit show. And like these oracles like keep trying, like Greek-esque oracles at the beginning of each album try to tell him to like turn back, go back to the lake, and he every time just doesn't choose the lake. And each album his life just gets progressively worse. And I just had to like capture that, so I drew it, and it was really cool. So much so that the Deer Hunter like reposted it, like. All this stuff, like the Deer Hunter fan pages on Facebook were like going crazy.
And it's such a good piece.
I actually won a deck of cards for that too. I forget where.
Oh, heck yeah!
I set of Deer Hunter cards. So, but yeah, so stuff like that is like if I do a project, that's probably one. Like I actually am sort of getting the inkling because I kind of liked the format of that Deer Hunter piece.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing a Coheed one of that, like starting off.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Doing each album and like what happens in the story in each.
Dude, that's so much.
I feel like that could be like my thing, like that whole like paneled layout.
I really like it.
it would work for Star Wars. There's so many things that layout works for that it's cool. So.
Yeah. No, dude, that's
more or less
awesome.
What the project would be if I worked on it, you know.
I'm also excited to one day see like your short stories or like masks. You know, like I do feel like
there is some cool stuff, but
yeah, I feel like when we were first starting, I was way more kind of like Tarantino about everything. Like I was like, these are my stories and I need them a certain way and I need you to draw them a certain way. And I think like as I've matured and like you've grown as an artist, we've kind of learned to work together in a way that kind of facilitates, you know, like a growth in both of us. You know, so I feel like that's why, you know, like when you say like Deathless is your story, like I kind of feel like we're both doing this stuff together now. And it's like, yeah, it's not always like perfectly my vision or exactly Steven's vision or whatever, but we're just, you know, working together.
Because I mean, like every part of it, like Anthony, you know, as much as he's creating every story beat and basically how the story ends and things change, there are things that like even I suggest in the interim that like get, you know, like, and then like obviously the characters, like the way the characters are represented physically, I had descriptors, but like they're brought to life by me, you know what I'm saying? So like it really is just it's a merged, fused effort, especially with how we do comics. Like with the writing, then the drawing, then the coloring, then the, you know, and the shading, and we literally like are like literally 50-50. We just go in, you know. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Heather Friedman asks, Hi Heather.
Hi Heather.
What piece of advice could you offer to a young aspiring artist who is struggling to build a portfolio for a college application, or any advice for a young artist planning on going to an art school? So that's a difficult question for me because I didn't go to an art school.
She's asking for her son, who's crazy talented.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, honestly, I guess the biggest piece of advice I could give as an artist and as someone who you look online, you see other people's art, and you just like hate your own art and this and that. The only piece of advice that I could truly give is that really lean into what you define as your style, like what your art, like how you represent yourself in your art. Just lean into those characteristics in your art. Don't imitate the things that will maybe bring more shape or life to your pieces, but like don't let your additions to those things like be like muted at all. Like if there's something you know that you feel like you do that adds that detail that feels like you, lean into those no matter how you feel about them in comparison to the rest of the world, because that's like what is going to set you apart from all the other artists, because that's just the truth. Like there's like artists like Alex Ross, right? Like his art is so unbelievably realistic and just so detailed that like it's like, man. But then you look at someone like Todd McFarlane and Spawn, and like these different art styles that just vary between like completely like different like just mediums, and like leaning into whatever you feel represents you as a person and your style is the best piece of advice I can give you, because really art is expression, right? So like express yourself as loud as you can.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful advice, dude. I think the thing that we all like struggle with sometimes is remembering that our imperfections are kind of what make our character. You know, that's what gives us style. Like the fact, you know, like even Todd McFarlane or, you know, like Mike Mignola drawing Hellboy, like you try to draw something as well as you could, but you fail at certain things and you're like, oh, how can I hide this with like dark inks? And now suddenly you have an amazing shadowy style. You know, and it's like those imperfections kind of create this new beautiful thing, and that's kind of where the money is. I mean, that's where like the most beautiful, amazing human stuff exists, is in the like weird imperfections. So yeah, I'm totally with you. Like just like don't hate yourself through that stuff, but love yourself because of it. You know,
I can assure you that the greatest, like even like the greatest comic artists probably look at other comic artists' work and like, damn, that's so good. Like I wish and it's just the case, you know. So just trust yourself, trust your expression, and lean into it.
Yeah. Corey Hero asks, would you ever make a comic dub of your comics, or even have someone else make it for you? We've talked about making a motion comic a couple of times about
I thought about because it can't be that hard to slightly animate the panels we have.
I know, I can definitely do that.
We have the original build files, so and I'm not saying I'm a great voice actor, but I I can do some voices over here. I really
Prove
can.
it!
I really do.
Prove it! Everyone in the comments right now, if you're listening to this right now, give us a voice and Steven will do it.
You're gonna make me do like a Frank. I can't do a Frank Caliendo situation.
You can do anything. You can do anything, Steven. Now here's the thing. You can say specific characters
Right,
or
you do the Monster Mash and I'll do some voices.
No, it's but that's part of it.
I would be down, Anthony, if you're down to do like an audio version of Deathless.
Yeah, that'd be so much fun.
We can probably get Carly and Tina to voice like the female characters in the book, and yeah, man.
All right, Steven, do
music behind it.
Steven, do Shaggy.
Oh, Shaggy, like Zoinks.
Can you
like Zoink Scoob?
Can you do Elmo?
Ooh, I can't do Elmo. Can you do Elmo?
I don't think so.
I can do Elmo.
Rocco's a rat.
The problem with Elmo is Zoom is gonna cut it out like most of the time. It's I'm Elmo. It's Elmo. Elmo doesn't say I'm
like the high one.
Hi. This is what Elmo sounds like. Hello. I pull my pants. Elmo time. Like that's Elmo. I don't know if you can hear all of that because it's Zoom.
Sometimes food.
All right. We also have Daffy Duck and Nick Cage, but I Daffy Duck is one of those characters that I can't. I just don't understand how it's done.
My life.
Like I don't get Daffy Duck.
Sylvester and Daffy both
yeah,
have
both.
very similar, like getting the tongue in the way, right?
I'm getting the tongue. Steven's good at that, right, Tina?
I
Wink.
can do Stan's sister from South Park.
Oh wait. Okay.
She probably can actually, because she does this voice all the fucking time to me. Especially like if it's like sexy time and she's trying to be silly.
Go on.
Do Shelly's voice.
Shut up, turds.
It's amazing. I love this. Okay. Steven, did we have any other questions?
I'm listening to my Britney Spears CDs.
That was pretty good, actually. That's pretty good.
Did we have any other questions from Twitter before we move on?
We do have a lot. I was thinking maybe we could even split the Twitter questions into like next week's episode.
Okay, that's fine.
So many.
We can do that. Unless you see like a really good one that you're like, let's answer
Let me
this.
double check. I'll double check.
But
there was one that
thank you all for your questions. We really do appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. Tina's.
I can't believe nobody asked me any questions.
Right? Tina, let me ask you. Go ahead.
What monster do you think... Oh, Sam V asks, what monster do you think is currently under my bed, and is it worth moving all these boxes out of the way to check?
The answer is Danny DeVito.
The monster that is under your bed is hairy, scary, and screamy, and it is Agent Pimento from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Don't do it, Papa.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, my little pierogi. Everything is okay.
Tina, I did see a question today that was like, if you had to, not could, but had to live in any horror movie, what would you live in? I saw that question somewhere, and I want to know what your answer is. Because I know you don't love horror stuff, but I'm interested.
David asked that. If you had to exist within a horror movie, which horror movie would it be, and would you survive?
I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter what horror movie it is, I'm not surviving. I can tell you, I
like she ain't hard.
To the fetal position.
She acts like she ain't hard.
And cry to death, probably. But once again, do I have to pick a movie or can I pick a show? Because I picked Buffy.
Do you think you could survive in the Hellmouth?
I feel like I could be a great addition to the Scoobies. If Xander can be a Scooby,
that's fair.
I can be a Scooby.
That's a good point, actually.
Xander is one of those characters that I love and hate at the same time so much.
All right, Levi asks. Let's use this as our final question. Tina, who would you want to play you in a movie? And also, I will add to this: who do you think would play us in a movie if you could?
Okay. Jay Baruchel, Chris Hemsworth.
Fair.
Emma Stone.
It's fair. I get Jay Baruchel, you get Chris Hemsworth and Emma Stone.
Maybe,
okay,
or
yeah.
Dakota Johnson, perhaps.
She could. Yeah, they could play me for sure. Dakota Johnson.
I feel like at best I should be Liam Hemsworth because at least he's not as cool as Chris Hemsworth.
I love you guys. Okay, at the end of every episode, we always discuss what we're gonna do next this week.
Hold on.
Go on.
Who would you pick?
What? Who do I think would play us?
Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, the guy who would play me is the guy from Black Mirror who kind of looks like me, that everyone says looks like me. The guy who would play Steven is Foggy from Daredevil. And
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I feel like Foggy Nelson could easily. What's the actor's name? He was in
He was in Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks too.
Yeah.
Fuller.
Fuller?
Thank you.
And the
Fulton?
person who would play
Fulton.
Fulton.
Bash Brothers.
Yeah, Bash Brothers. Who would play Tina?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I'm trying to think. Tina's a hard one because she kind of has like Zooey Deschanel vibes, but like you're shorter and like, yeah, Toby Kebbell. Levi knows what I'm talking about because like they've said it a million times, I'm sure. I don't know who would play Tina. That's a hard one. Tina, you're so Tina. I can't imagine anyone to play you.
I'm just too unique.
You're too
I feel
unique.
like the dude version of Jeff Bridges could play me too, right?
Oh yeah, I can see that. Okay. So every week we always discuss what we're going to get into next, in the hopes of avoiding our various tragedies and issues. What are you guys up to this week? What are you trying to do productively?
This week, it is time to open the pages and dive back into Deathless issue 4. So that is what I will be working on this week. Unless Chris has any edits for us, I'm sure we're bound to have an editor too. Have you heard anything from that?
Actually, tomorrow they want me to, for Bloodlust, they talked to me about like creating the additional pages as far as like character bios and stuff. So like I might just do that on my own tomorrow.
I have a format if you want them.
Yeah, I mean,
I have like what I did for the last issue.
Yeah, you can email me whatever you want. Well, like that's probably what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Bios, really? Why didn't they say that before? That's funny.
I don't know. But I don't.
A bio for Cass and Moira.
Yeah, and then now we need like the Hazel and Winnie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably do that stuff, and then in addition to that, I'm going to try to set up. I want to start working towards publishing my novel Table Scraps. Like I'm going to put that up for pre-order soon because I'm sick of not doing it, honestly. But that's what I'm going to work on. I am so excited to get back to Deathless. I can't freaking wait to like start coloring whatever you send me when you start sending me stuff again. I can't wait. If you haven't read the first few issues of Deathless, go check them out now. You can find them on wehaveissuespodcast.com. The first couple are available on Amazon Kindle. You can find it there. Otherwise, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this live show and asking us questions and being a part of this. Feel free to comment anything below. Let us know what you've thought of the show for the last 5 years. Tina, what do you think of the show for the last 5 years? How are we doing?
I think it's super dope. Big fan.
Hell yeah. I like it. Steven, do you want to say anything to people before we get out of here?
Thank you so much, because I know the people that showed up are the people that always show up. Levi, Caitlin, Eric, Matthew. The Don't Make It Weird gang popped in. Our local fam, our local friends. We love each and every one of you so much, and thank you so much for making our lives that much better.
Man, we usually have
to conquer our dreams.
And thanks for including me.
Of course, we love you so much.
Thanks for welcoming me.
What? I'll welcome you always, but thank you. Here's to another 5 years of having issues, preferably only the comic book variety. But otherwise, until next time, I'm Anthony.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
I'm Tina the Awesome.
And this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
Boom.
It's like a new STD.
Are we still live?
I think so.
Yeah, we are. Hang on. Wait. Can I ask you guys a question real quick? Because I was just thinking about this and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, we gotta do a post-episode talk. I got you.
Guys, Humpty Dumpty, right? When they say all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again, are the horses glue?
Oh.
Yes.